the hottest pop culture stories of the day. Like, we have Jimmy Kimmel back. We got clips from his monologue. This is Hot to Go. I'm Brittany.
I'm Kendall.
And I'm Mike.
And Jimmy Kimmel is officially back on air. As we know, last week he was pulled off air when he had comments about the assassination of the conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Well, we know that there was a lot of meetings, a lot of conversations, a lot of feelings around him coming back, but it was official last night. Jimmy Kimmel took the stage. I think his monologue ended up being over 15 minutes. Now, I have a clip from it, and it really centers around, you can tell, the back and forth. There was obviously conversations around what he was going to say about his comments in the assassination. So here are those comments from Jimmy Kimmel last night.
That our government cannot be allowed to control what we do and do not say on television, and that we have to stand up to it. I've been hearing a lot about what I need to say and do tonight, and the truth is, I don't think what I have to say is going to make much of a difference. If you like me, you like me. If you don't, you don't. I have no illusions about changing anyone's mind. But I do want to make something clear because it's important to me as a human, and that is, you understand that it was never my intention to make light of the murder of a young man. I don't think there's anything funny about it. I posted a message on Instagram on the day he was killed, sending love to his family and asking for compassion, and I meant it, and I still do. Nor was it my intention to blame any specific group for the actions of what it was obviously a deeply disturbed individual. That was really the opposite of the point I was trying to make, but I understand that to some that felt either ill-timed or unclear, or maybe both. And for those who think I did point a finger, I get why you're upset. If the situation was reversed, there's a good chance I'd have felt the same way. I have many friends and family members on the other side who I love and remain close to, even though we don't agree on politics at all. I don't think the murderer who shot Charlie Kirk represents anyone. This was a sick person who believed violence was a solution, and it isn't. Ever. And also, selfishly, I am a person who gets a lot of threats. I get many ugly and scary threats against my life, my wife, my kids, my coworkers, because of what I choose to say. And I know those threats don't come from the kind of people on the right who I know and love. So that's what I wanted to say on that subject. But I don't want to make this about me because, and I know this is what people say when they make things about them, but I really don't. This show is not important. What is important is that we get to live in a country that allows us to have a show like this.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I think, and I know, I think what you pulled was the perfect clip describing what he did and didn't say.
Yeah.
I think as soon as, if you are listening and didn't hear the full 7-minute monologue, 15-minute monologue, know that right after that, he addresses how he thanked all the people who did come out and support him.
Yes.
And he also thanked the people that he goes, that don't agree with anything I say, don't even like me, but agree with my right and fought for my right to be able to speak freely in this country.
Yeah. And that was something he felt really strongly about, is bringing up the idea that he was surprised and definitely felt comforted by that exact sentiment. Is we had a lot of people that were saying, this guy can say what he wants, even though I literally disagree with him.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
He did talk about, too, he had such an outpouring. I mean, he kicked off the monologue saying literally everybody's gotten in touch with him. Everyone he's ever met in the history of ever.
Mm-hmm.
There's still a lot of conversations, though, about what this means. What was crazy is during that monologue, so that monologue that Jimmy Kimmel gave as his return to late night last night was something that was under lock and key. The staff had no idea what he was going to say. But there was a lot of rumors going around that he was going to go out there and apologize. And I mean, in some ways, he did. I mean, he didn't. I'm sure there was a back and forth about the exact verbiage. But he said how, it probably was an ill-timed joke. And it probably, if it would have been received on the other side, he probably would have felt the same way. But his staff, Kendall, they were so passionate about having his back and like willing to lose their job over what they believed in, that they sat there going, if he apologizes and like kind of bends a knee, they're walking out during the monologue. And again, as we all know, rumors fly like crazy when people don't have the information of what's going on. So that was like the leading up to the monologue. There was a bunch of people on his staff that were like looking around trying to make the call. Like, are we comfortable with the way that this is said? And I can't even imagine the energy, because it's like, I'm sure they all kind of relax, and what he said isn't controversial. He said that it was awful somebody died, and that's 1,000%. And he wishes maybe he didn't kind of put an affiliation on the shooter. But if you really go back and listen, there's no point where he's saying, I am full on apologizing. Like, I am sorry.
No, he acknowledged and took responsibility for his words.
Yeah.
But he didn't take them back.
Yeah.
And we discussed that a lot yesterday and even on Monday, it was this matter of like, is he going to apologize? If so, what is that going to look like? I personally did not think he was going to apologize, just because I don't think it would have gotten to this point if he was going, oh yeah, sure, no, I'll say I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Like, we never would have gotten to this week suspension. Nexstar and Sinclair to this day not playing his show on their ABC affiliates. Because to him, that was worth it. It was worth saying that. I listened to the apology a few times. Quote unquote, not apology, but the monologue.
Yeah.
I don't think he could have handled it any better.
Yeah.
Especially because of the way he started it with, you're either going to like me or you're not. It doesn't matter what I say right now, but I want to be clear about a few things. And being first and foremost, that if Charlie Kirk's widow can forgive the man who killed him, like, let's all follow by that example, and that I never want to make light of something like that. And I can see where you're coming from.
Yeah.
And then moving forward with, but you should also have free speech in this country.
Yeah.
I think he did a really good job of kind of getting everything out. There were no questions afterwards, in the sense of like, oh, but he didn't address this. Oh, but he didn't address that. And now show can go on. I think, at least, whether you like him or not, his show's going to just now go on.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, Nexstar and Sinclair are still feeling out where they want to fall. Today we have Nexstar Media Group's statement is exactly this. Nexstar is continuing to evaluate the status of Jimmy Kimmel Live on our ABC-affiliated local television stations, and the show will be preempted while we do so. We are engaged in productive discussions with executives at the Walt Disney Company with a focus on ensuring the program reflects and respects the diverse nature of the communities we serve.
So basically the exact same thing they said yesterday.
Yep. Sinclair representatives didn't have a comment thus far, but as I know, they are still preempting it.
I'm curious what both of your opinions are on his statement. If you think that he did enough to kind of come back from here and address it.
It's such an odd question. It's a good question, Kendall. But like, I guess, you know, as somebody who is sometimes in some ways logical, like in my brain, I'm logical, is that I know how thought out this statement was. I knew it was going to be perfect. I don't know sincerity. I don't know Jimmy Kimmel. I don't know who needed this. But if it helped, and if it does have a conversation around the idea that, like, I'm human, I make mistakes, I think that's beautiful. I think that is a great conversation, watching a grown man who literally could have just walked away from this. I mean, his staff had more to lose than he did. Jimmy Kimmel's fine financially. But the idea that you can I think there's lessons there to pull from, especially we don't always in every aspect have great male, not influencers, but
just examples
of a time in your life where you say something and come back to a place of like, that wasn't, I didn't want anyone to feel that way. Like, I think that's beautiful. So if I was going to take anything from it, is I hope somebody, no matter what side of whatever political stands or what age group or whatever, is that you can see that somebody felt bad that they made people feel bad. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think the last thing we wanted is him to come out and just make an apology because he was told he has to make an apology.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people that could sit here and argue and say, what did he even have to apologize for, given the initial statement and who it was directed to and how it was worded? There are many people that there isn't even an apology needed. So the fact that he basically came out and said exactly, I think what we were all saying, and yesterday we were going back and forth, like, is it going to be a flat out, hey, I'm sorry, this shouldn't have been said? Or is it going to be a, look, I get it. Some people didn't like how I said it, or some people didn't like what I said. And if I was on the flip side, probably would have been in the same boat. But we're here now, and it hurt me that people felt that way. Clearly, again, if you want to say sincere or not, he got choked up during that whole situation. So at least from an emotional standpoint, I know plenty of people can say, oh, he's probably just putting this on. But the idea that he got that emotional, got that choked up when talking about the people in his life that don't necessarily agree with him, and he worked that all in there, I don't know how he could have gone any better than that.
Yeah.
Like, I think he hit everything that needed to be hit.
Mm. Tell us what you think in the comments of this video. If you're listening to the podcast, let us know. Do you think that he did enough to assuage people who felt like he did wrong, and also at the same time, people who were defending him?
Yeah.
Let us know.
That's a great question. Okay, you guys, we're at a point where we might have to read Priscilla Presley's new book. As we know, she has her memoir out, Softly As I Leave You. The 80-year-old has been spilling a lot of secrets, especially around her and Elvis's relationship. She talked about how her husband, Elvis, had been so incredibly jealous and angry after her affair with her karate instructor. His name's Mike Stone, which, what a great karate instructor name.
Wow.
Mike Stone.
You can call me Master Stone. That once he realized that she was having the affair, he went to a place of, I need to have this man killed. Quote, Elvis found...
That's quite the jump.
Yeah. Elvis...
Okay.
Quote, Elvis found the thought of me with another man unbearable. In the weeks after my departure, he told the guys that Mike had to die. He even asked Joe Esposito to find a hitman.
Okay. So the king was off his rocker. It's comical because you go, bro, you know why you're in this position, right?
You've cheated with anybody. I'm sure you cheated accidentally with Mike Stone as well. Like, at that point, who haven't you slept with, Elvis?
It's just insane. I'm like, sir, get in the back of the line.
I know.
Just stop.
And it's like I know, like, that ego, like, women, it's heartbreak, and men, it's an ego thing. I'm not saying all the time, but this would be that perfect case scenario of Priscilla's bawling over her husband, cheating on her so often. And Elvis is in a place of, nobody can sleep with my wife.
She's mine, though.
So,
no, you're done.
Stone must die.
So wild.
Yeah.
What a vibe. Like, between how she felt about her daughter marrying Michael Jackson.
Right.
And this, and like several other things that we haven't even touched on that have come out in the gossip rags.
I know.
This is one that I'm like, maybe I'll listen.
I know.
Is Priscilla reading it? Is she like how Cher read her own memoir?
Oh, I'll check. It's usually on my Spotify.
Okay.
I'll work on that.
Okay. This seems like a really great task for you.
Thanks.
I'll just get the footnotes.
Cool. I'll find out. I think like me looking it up is a good task. I was like, thanks. I think I can do it.
I can do that. Or just in general.
Okay. Yeah. I get what you're saying. It's like how I took on Cher's memoir. Love it. Love it. It's great.
It's wild too, because there's so many people in the Elvis world and universe who are going to look at this and still be like, but Elvis was the victim. But Elvis is the hero of the story. Yeah, good that he wanted to do that. You shouldn't have left him. It's just so crazy, the love and fanfare and obsession that to this day such a large community has with a man who was far from perfect, demons or not, whatever you think of him. You can't say that that's a normal reaction talking about taking somebody out that your ex is now dating. But just... next level.
Okay, so Softly As I Leave You, The Life After Elvis, a memoir. There's 2 people noted on the book. And if you have Spotify Premium, you can get it. You get it in your membership. It's Priscilla Presley and Mary Jane Ross. Now, a lot of times when this happens, it's not all narrated by Priscilla Presley, but it says that it is. It says that it's mostly done.
Yeah, she was Mary Jane Ross, the co-author for the written version, but she says the audiobook is Priscilla Presley, according to the always reliable AI search.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, never fails us.
That will also sometimes tell you Christmas is actually July 7th.
Yeah.
Tell me it's not.
But it'll give some stats that you're
Christmas in July.
Am I wrong?
In fact, you didn't get me anything this July.
It's weird. It's weird.
So rude.
Kim Kardashian is finally saying something about Ye, and she never talks about Kanye. Now, this little bit of tea came out in French Vogue, and if you're going to spill some tea somewhere, do it in French Vogue. She was talking about being in her 40s and addressing how her mom had said, hey, Kim, I think this is going to be your best decade yet. You're going to just love it. You spread your wings, you fly, baby. And Kim was like, yeah, I completely agree. It's true. She said, now, she doesn't name Kanye directly, but I need you to listen to the math here. Only over the past 3 or 4 years have I gained this confidence. Before, I constantly needed to check with someone before making a decision. Can you imagine? It's crazy to rely so much on others' opinions. Today, I know exactly what I want. It's exhilarating. Now, her divorce, actually, like the file of separation, is February of 2021. 3 or 4 years ago? Excuse me? Yep, about 4 years ago.
Wow.
And it's not that shocking because we already know. We've seen the Kardashians. We don't even need gossip rags to tell us. We saw it happening when Kanye would come into her closet and Kim became famous before the sex tape, at least in the Hollywood circles, by being Paris Hilton's friend.
Yeah.
Because she wanted to do Paris Hilton's closet.
She was working her way up. I can't say she was famous.
No, I said in the Hollywood, that little community.
Yeah.
As Paris's friend. And she was really, what she loved was fashion. Doesn't mean you have to like Kim Kardashian's fashion, but that's what she loved and that's what she was doing at the time.
Yeah.
So imagine her surprise when her husband tells her, I'm going to burn through all your clothes. You have the worst taste in the world. There's an episode where he threw out over 250 pairs of her shoes, which, girl, you got a lot of shoes. 250 pairs of her shoes. And she's crying in the episode. And he's like, it's fine. I'll build you a whole new closet. And there's so many photos, photo after photo after photo of them on the red carpet where she is so stiff. And I get it. Kim Kardashian isn't exactly one of those warm, fuzzy people anyway.
Yeah.
But she just looks so incredibly tense, terrified to look the wrong direction. Maybe her lip liner isn't perfect. A strand of hair is out of the place. She's not in the right pose.
Yeah.
Because Kanye is standing right next to her. Very similar to what we're seeing with Bianca Censori, his now wife, who he infamously paid 6 figures to walk around in edible underwear recently. And then we stopped talking about them because it just got so out of hand.
Totally.
And he's just ridiculous. But her even acknowledging his presence by stating, there was someone I was always trying to please.
Mm-hmm.
It's a big step for Kim.
Huge step. I mean, the thing is, I suffer from being the youngest child. And a lot of times, I do it to Kendall, I do it to Mike all the time, where I know in my gut I'm confident, but then I'll have these moments where I'm like, do you hate this rug? Do you hate it? Just be honest. Am I a garbage person? And I feel like we all know that feeling. Now, if somebody was really pushing that feeling, and if you're somebody like Kim Kardashian, who has the insecurity around people telling you that you're famous because you had sex on a camera, and there's a world where and I'm not saying that's true, but I am saying that is probably a narrative you hear in your head. You've always wanted to do something bigger than that, and you have. Yeah. But I'm sure in your head there's still that voice of you're not worthy of this life. So if somebody comes in with that domineering personality and can tell you, I'm going to elevate your look, I'm going to elevate your life, and everything you did before this, every decision was awful, you're going to fall into that. You're going to put that on a big old comfy coat, zip that bad boy up, and then that thing gets locked in. And it has to be debilitating. And I'm so glad that she's at a place where she's looking back being like, I can do this without him. I am doing this without him. I have done this without him. And it I'm sure it didn't feel great at first verbalizing that. But like, it's great to hear that she's definitely at that point.
Right. I mean, because she's got to talk about it at some point, but she has to be so careful because he is unhinged.
Yeah.
Absolutely unhinged. And she still does share 4 children with him.
Yeah, she's got joint custody. And so you're never going to put yourself in a place where when your heart isn't with you all the time and your heart is going to somebody, you're never going to say anything. You're not going to be truthful. You're not going to be, because your heart's not with you. He's taking care of it at that time. And also, like, she knows, too, the backlash her kids get when her husband lashes out and says all these awful things.
Right. Absolutely. You guys will never guess who's on the cover of Us Weekly.
I don't think I will. I mean, I even know, and I feel like I still can't. I can't say it out loud.
Like, it's a lie. It's a lie. Jordan Hudson.
Our
Who
favorite,
the hell is that?
Our favorite girl boss.
Jordan Hudson, girlfriend of Super Bowl winning coach Bill Belichick, New England Patriots guy, now coach at UNC. It's his girlfriend. The reason she's in the news all the time is because she puts herself in the news all the time, one. But also, she's 49 years younger than Bill Belichick. She was a former Miss, or at least tried to be a Miss Maine, Miss Massachusetts. We remember her from the infamous CBS Sunday Morning interview that she interrupted because, quote unquote, she's his publicist and she didn't like the questions being asked. That went well. She's bought real estate since meeting him. She has decided that maybe she should run the show so much to a point that when Hard Knocks approached Bill Belichick and his new team, UNC, Hard Knocks decided to pull out of the deal because of some things that they weren't expecting to come in the way of filming in that relationship. Rumor on the street is that she wanted to make sure that not only did they get a cut of the proceeds that this made, which, okay, sure, but that she got final say in all editing. Girl, HBO, I'm going to do that for you. I digress. This is Jordan Hudson. However, Us Weekly went back and they were like, we got to talk to her people. Doesn't she have friends? Doesn't she know anybody that will not say that she's the devil, or are they going to confirm she's the devil? So they go back and they talk to a bunch of her former cheerleading teammates.
Would you be honored if we're like, Us Weekly? Us Weekly's literally on the hunt to find something positive about me. I'd go, honored, doll.
Thank you so much.
Don't come to this station.
So they interviewed 4 or 5 of her old cheerleading friends because she was a collegiate cheerleader. And they all had really nice things to say about her. They were all like, listen, she was very competitive, as we all are at the collegiate level, but she always had your back. If you needed help with something, she was willing to help. She's focused and headstrong, but it wasn't a detriment to anybody that we knew, so it's not surprising that she still is. The owner of the salon that she worked at back in the day said that she was great. She was very patient and gentle with clients. This is my favorite part. She would also sometimes walk around in a Miss Massachusetts sash.
Love.
Does that make sense?
But
she came in third runner-up, Brittany. She wasn't Miss Massachusetts. That's what makes it extra weird. And this is the one thing that I want to make sure we get before we have to go.
Yeah.
Before she met Bill Belichick, she had a different 65-year-old boyfriend. He comes through in this article and says, listen, she's always had an old soul. She's a wonderful woman. She's got her head on straight. And these other people are like, yeah, she was very disenchanted with men her own age. So she's always liked an older man. So this is not the first man that she's ever dated that is super senior to her.
Also, can we mention that Us Weekly did a whole freaking cover story on her without one quote from her?
I know, but that's so Us Weekly, is it not?
So Us Weekly.
The amount of coverage that they gave Meghan and Harry when they left the royal family without a single quote from them for years, it's actually incredible.
Impressive.
Great journalism, guys.
We love it. Oh, thanks for listening to Hot to Go. We love to hear when you agree with us. We don't even mind when you disagree with us. Make sure you comment in the sections. We'll write you back. I'm sure of it. Send it to your friends. Subscribe, all the things.